Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here and welcome to Dead Cells. This game officially launches next week, August 7th on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and PC. But thanks to the awesome guys over at Motion Twin, I've had the opportunity to play the game this week and oh my goodness, I am loving every minute of this game. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you might have seen my somewhat cryptic tweet about a game I've been playing this week. Well, Dead Cells was that game. Honestly, I have had so much fun with this, and while in the grand scheme of things I'm still early on, it's already shaping up to be one of my favourite games I've played this year. So this is for sure something you should have on your radar. And in this video I'm going to show you guys some extended gameplay of one of my better runs, but also use this as an opportunity to talk about the game and explain exactly what Dead Cells is, and what it is about the game that has me hooked. So if you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to comment down below and let me know what you guys think and if you have any questions. Now, first up, for those of you that perhaps haven't heard of this game before and are sitting there thinking, what the hell is Dead Cells? Well, Dead Cells is a roguelite, Metroidvania-inspired action platformer with 2D Souls-like combat mechanics. Essentially, you explore this sprawling, ever-changing castle, fighting your way past enemies and defeating these big bosses called Keepers. In true Metroidvania fashion, there are multiple paths to follow, routes that only become available once you obtain certain skills, hidden pathways to uncover, and plenty of awesome items, weapons and loot to find. But where this game gets really interesting is when you factor in the roguelite and Souls-like mechanics. See, you play as this character who is essentially a mass of cells that occupy this body, and you work your way through the world, defeating whatever stands in your way, obtaining sweet loot, abilities, and upgrading your stats along the way. And then you die. I mean, that's just an inevitable part of these games. But when you die, you lose everything. Your cells, your money, your items, and you go back to the beginning, and you start over. And while the game is said to have Souls-like elements, that refers much more to the combat itself and not the game flow. See, upon death, you don't return to the location that you died to reclaim everything and carry on. When you're dead, you are really dead. But where it gets interesting is that while there is obviously a permadeath element to the game, the more you play and the further you get, the more you begin to uncover certain progression elements that do persist through death. See, as you work your way through the stages, when you go from one area to the next, you'll invariably pass by this passage, and here you meet the Collector. This is where you can spend your cells. As you play through the game, you'll uncover blueprints for cool weapons, and then you can spend your cells at this guy to unlock those, and other items, health potions, random weapons upon respawn, that sort of stuff. Progress here persists. So for example, early on, I unlocked the health potion, so now anytime I die, I respawn and I have health potions. You can unlock random weapons too. By default, when you die, you respawn with the basic sword, and you can then pick up either a bow or a shield. But as you unlock more blueprints and unlock these items, those random spawns will instead draw from your items you previously unlocked, making starting over an ever-changing experience. And when you do respawn, you'll also see this wall of hanging jars, and these are gradually filled with the items that you discover and unlock as you progress. Additionally, after the Collector, you'll speak to this chap here, who lets you obtain mutations. These are temporary abilities that apply while you're alive. It can be simple things like health boosts and attack boosts, to the ability to, say, survive one death and carry on, or a necromancer ability that lets you heal upon killing enemies. These are things you'll grab to make that single run easier, but again, when you die, that's gone. You'll encounter these guys as you pass through different areas, so it gives you regular opportunities to spend what you've earned, because again, when you die, you lose it. So always spend what you have anytime you have a chance. And while I appreciate that to some people the idea of permadeath and games where you will die and lose stuff might not be appealing, what is so great about Dead Cells is the arcade-like nature of the gameplay flow. It's so quick, you jump in, you get far, you die, and you immediately want to dive back in and get further. See, when you respawn, the layout of the castle changes, so your path won't always be the same, the enemy configurations alter, and where you went before might not apply this time. Additionally, as you play through, you'll come across certain elements that will reward you with permanent abilities. For example, there are some vines that you can tickle to make them grow, and this unlocks pathways for you. But of course, you can't use these until you obtain that ability. But once you do, even if you die, you still have it. So suddenly, on your next run, that shortcut that you wanted to take but couldn't do beforehand because you didn't have the ability, suddenly becomes available to you. And that also taps into the flow of the game. See, rightfully so, when you begin the game knowing that death is permanent, you will likely be quite cautious with how you play. You work through the stages, slowly killing enemies, exploring every corner, healing when you can, and work through like that, which is completely fine. But then you might stumble across a door like this, a timer door, that locks after a certain period of time. And obviously, out of curiosity, you want to know what's behind it. So when you die, you do your next run a little bit more recklessly, a little bit faster, rushing through the enemies, speeding through that first floor, only to get there and realise that you're, say, 16 seconds too late, so you go again. And now, the way you approach the game has completely changed. Suddenly that methodic, slow approach from before has gone out the window, and now you're a speedrunner. You're rushing to the door, and you finally get through, and get some sweet rewards in the process, and then you carry on. Death is so quick in this game that you begin to not mind. You see every respawn as an opportunity to do it again, but better. And just like how if you die if you're, say, in an arcade in real life, and you want to put the coin in to carry on, you get that same feeling with Dead Cells and wanting to run again. And there's so much variety too. There are tons and tons of weapons and items, different swords, secondary weapons, bows, shields, hammers, throwing knives, you have traps, grenades, bombs you can throw, magic abilities like freeze, fire. Heck, I even unlocked what is essentially a Spartan kick in my last run, and I ran around kicking people against the walls and smashing them with a greatsword. Every run plays and feels different, and that's what keeps it fresh. You can jump in for 15 minutes for a quick run, or sink hours in if you want to try over and over again. And this awesome experience is all wrapped up in an amazing visual package. The graphics are incredible, I love the aesthetic, animations are smooth, the environments are varied and unique, and overall it is just an awesome experience. So yeah, this is for sure a game I am super glad I checked out. Now for this video I'm playing on PS4, but I've got the Switch version pre-ordered, so I'll be swapping over to that next week so that I can play it on the go. But to round out this video, I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay from one of my recent runs. I got up to one of the keepers, and from there, you can see what happens. But definitely, let me know what you guys think, and if this is something you're keen to check out. But thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of this.